Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. Alright, so let's talk about me. Me. Am I a Rolex fanboy? I've been meaning to make this video. I've been wanting to make this video because when you look at the comments, it's a real dichotomy of opinions. You've got people who think I'm a real fanboy, and let's just define that really quickly. I mean, a fanboy, loves a certain thing to the point of not even really seeing or realizing its faults. That's the way I define it. And so when somebody is deemed a fanboy, they're just all in. They're just, they just love whatever is the object of their fandom, and really can only see the positive. And a lot of people who comment on the disqualify videos call me a Rolex fanboy. They say and or think that because I can't see any redeeming qualities to disqualify, that and because I bring up Rolex as just a better option, more expensive, I know, but really a better option in terms of, like, getting your money's worth. They call me out as a fanboy. And then the other end of the spectrum are people who see me wear the Seikos and the Casios and think my hands are soiled with the shitters that I play with and that I have and wear and say good things about. Now, they wouldn't say I'm a fanboy. They would say, I would call those people fanboys of whatever. But, they don't call me fanboys, but what they do, they point out that that life's too short for watches like that. So my whole point here is that there's a big sort of continuum of opinions about what kind of watch person I am, and it's really interesting to see. I mean, some people are like, you're a complete Rolex fanboy snob, and the other end of the spectrum is like, you gotta leave those shitters alone. You gotta focus on decent watches. You're messing around with garbage. So it's interesting, and those are opinions of the same guy, me. So let's talk about this question. Am I a Rolex fanboy? Well, what do you think? Leave your comments in the section. Here's my take on it. I would say I am a fan of Rolex. Am I a fanboy of Rolex? Probably not. I mean, I like Rolex a lot, but I like vintage Rolex more. I like what Rolex was much more than what it is. And I think a fanboy just eats up whatever they put out, and I don't. In fact, I'm pretty critical of a lot of the pieces, and I've said good things about the GMT Master 2 ceramic, and it is a nice watch and a great watch. Aesthetically speaking, I think they should have polished the center links of the Jubilee bracelet. I think that was a mistake. The same could definitely be said of the oyster bracelet on the BLNR. I can't say that I like the Cerachrom as much. It's not as bright. It doesn't pop as much. I don't like the script. I don't like the fact that it doesn't click at 120 clicks, but it pops into place at the hours. So you can't use it the way I love to use a GMT, just to like mark time. That's a huge one. That's a huge one. I get it. It is a little bit more dedicated to what the bezel is supposed to function as, and that's to use with a 24-hour hand. I get that, but yeah, I prefer the 120 clicks. At least give me 60 clicks, right? Now, maxi dial, not really such a fan of that, and the fat hands. So there you go. I gotta be honest. Look, I know the clasp on the new pieces are better. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. Like, I've seen a lot of broken clasps that are new. I don't know what it is, but a lot of those clasps break. I think there's like a weak point in them, but I'm willing to say that's just a fluke. Okay. But it might not be. Okay, but let's just say it is. I kind of like this style, and I wish I had a Rolex on to show you, but I like the sort of the 90s style of the flip block clasp. I just think it looks a little bit better than look as new, and you can spot a vintage piece very easily by looking at the clasp. So that's another thing where I certainly deviate from, I think, what a fanboy would say. All right, the new Explorer 2. I think it's horrendous. I hate it. It makes me sick, and I don't understand what Rolex was doing. I think it was an experimental model. I think they wanted to see if people responded to the 42 millimeter case. I think it's hideous, and if I was given one, I would try to unload it ASAP. I think 40 millimeters is the way to go. There's some people that like it, but for me, that is horrendous. That's probably the worst thing that Rolex has ever put out, and I don't know why. I guess because it's Rolex Explorer 2-esque, but it's just big and ugly. And if you have one, look, you've got a great watch, right? And the internals are excellent. But aesthetically speaking, it's just not for me. Might be for you though, which is okay. All right, what else? Case is fattened up a bit. Not too crazy about that. Even on the Datejust, I think the 16234, for example, has got a better case dimension than the new Datejust. So they even managed to screw up the Datejust. There's really only, okay, I like the perpetuals. That's what I like in terms of contemporary Rolexes. The blue, what is it, the purple grape like Simon Crane has, I think that's a really cool watch, and it was really smart buying on his part because he could pass it to his daughter. It's a great like unisex watch and totally makes sense, I think, getting it for that reason. So I like those watches. The regular Explorer, it's okay. I kind of like the 36 millimeter more. I think I don't want to say it's 39 millimeter. It's just a little too big. 36 is too small, or is it? It's okay, but yeah, 39 just looks a bit gangly. Not that bad. Okay, could definitely handle it, but yeah, I'm more of a purist. I like the originals. I like them to stick with the original. So the 36 I think is the way to go as far as the Explorer goes. What else? Okay, they don't service their watches. If they run out of parts, that sucks. Okay, a fanboy would just say like, you gotta get new watches and whatever. I'm really critical about them, and I think that is a huge sucky part of Rolex, and they ought to sort of rectify that. Pulling the rug out from under you down the road. It's not a way to send a good message to potential customers. Credit to Patek for always looking out for their customers, no matter how old their watch is. So yeah, there you go. I'm sure I could find other things to bitch about, but am I a full Rolex fanboy? I would say no. I think I could have been in the 90s, but no, I'm pretty critical of the brand, and I tell you, if I got on the board of Rolex, I would change things. Well, I guess when I say change, we would regress to, I think, a time when I really thought the Rolexes were particularly swell. Hey, I'd keep the internal aspects and stuff, but anyway, what do you think? Am I a Rolex fanboy? Are you a Rolex fanboy? Are you a fanboy of any watch? Let me know in the comment section. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.